Let's start in mountain pose, everybody. Thanks for being here. Back to our yoga practice. New year. So I invite you to stand near the top of your mat and just continue to arrive. Make your way here. And as you establish this connection to the earth, also connect with your breath. Just slow, steady breaths, just to get reacquainted with your breathing. As you're breathing in and out, feel free to add some simple movements, perhaps a little circling of the shoulders, maybe side to side motions with the head and neck. Go ahead and work down the body if you'd like. Just want to check in with your hips, your knees, ankles, feet. That's it. Good. Just a little check-in. Notice how you're feeling. As you breathe in, just feel the breath rising upward to fill your lungs. As you exhale, connect to your center body, drawing navel inward towards your spine. Just a light engagement of the abdominal lock. That's it. Just bringing yourself to a greater awareness, perhaps even more present, more connected. And again, as you breathe in, feel the breath rising, filling up your lungs. Feel a little taller, lengthening in the spine. Check in with shoulders, roll them back and down. As you exhale, draw belly in, core connection. Our practice today will focus on shoulders. I've called this practice deep shoulder work. As always, this is your practice. Move as you need to, modify whenever you need to, rest when it's appropriate. As we prepare our bodies to move, let's take 3 more breaths. That's it. Wonderful. When you're ready to move, inhale and extend your arms overhead, reaching all the way up, a nice stretch. Good. Exhale, let's fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Just slowly, take your time, make your way down, maybe touching your toes. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees and extend your spine. Feel the crown of your head come forward. Exhale, let's fold back down to forward fold. We're going to hold here for just a few breaths. A new sensation in the body, noticing what's happening in the body here. The natural curvature of the spine, even a heaviness here where gravity is drawing you downward, perhaps through the crown of your head. You might even have a slight bend in your knees, but still feeling a stretch sensation down through the backs of your legs. Add a little movement here if you'd like. Again, shoulder roll, a little shake of the head, a little sway of the upper body left and right. Let's come back to center. Let's shift the weight back into the heels. Bend your knees. Feel like you're going to sit down into a low chair. Look forward, then extend your arms out to the side. Yes, then inhale, stand up nice and tall. Reach into the sky. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart, or you can even just bring your arms down by your side, either one. Good, let's continue. Inhale, reach all the way up. Good, stretch, lengthening. And exhale again, leading with your heart. Fold forward, soft knees. Taking your time as you guide your way down. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees, extending your spine. Hold here on the exhale. So we're going to hold this half forward fold. Keep a good softness in the knees, a little weight in the heels, and then just let your arms kind of hang out front like this. in circles, like you're stirring a big pot of soup. Maybe clockwise a few times, and then counterclockwise, and then even shake out the head gently, just knowing that your strong hamstrings and your core connection are actually helping you to hold you in place here. A little bit more weight shift into the heels, bend your knees like you're sitting down, look forward, spread your wings, arms out to the side, and stand up with an inhale, reach into the air, there you go. Exhale, hands to your heart or down by your side. Good, hold for a moment, find breath. Let's continue with our sun salute. Whenever you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And exhale, fold forward, making your way down. Perhaps touching your toes. Inhale, slide your hands up the legs, extending the spine, long, flat back. Exhale, fold and bend, getting low enough so you can place your hands on your mat out in front of you and walk or step or even hop both feet back to the back end of your mat so you're in a high push-up position. Good, that's it, plank pose. Nice full breath in right here. As you exhale, bend your knees a little, then send your hips up into the air, just moving right away into downward facing dog. Okay, right into downward facing dog. I call this a shortcut from plank to down dog. Feel free to hold just as you are. If you need to, make some adjustments of where your feet are, adjust where your hands are, or even add movement. You might pedal the feet, pressing one heel down, then the other, just feeling that stretch quality through your calf muscles, and maybe a stretch between your toes. Yeah, your knees can bend, even allow your hips to shift side to side. Be sure your hands are pressing firmly, strongly into the mat. And then just let your heart sink a little deeper, as if you're sending your heart down towards the floor, head between the arms there, and then send your upper back forward a little bit to come out of that sensation. Okay, take a breath in. As you exhale, draw belly in, and then walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold again. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up, reaching into the air. This exhale, take chair pose, Utkatasana, or a chair-like position. Stay there for a moment, but bend your elbows at 90 degrees like a goalpost shape, and then kind of pull the arms back a bit. So it's kind of an opening across the chest. Even feel a little squeezing or engaging sensation in the back body. There you go, breathe in. And exhale, dive out of your seat, back down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway or just extend the spine. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the mat, walk, step, or hop, both feet back, plank pose, pause right there for a second. You can do that same shortcut to down dog, or if you like, exhale, bend elbows and finish your push-up. Yeah, come down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, maybe a cobra pose or upward facing dog, just a heart opener that feels right. And exhale, downward facing dog. Yeah, you can really kind of play with that each time you come to that little part of our sequence. Good. For a moment, just set your knees on the floor, sit back into hero pose, just for a quick demo up here, because I'm going to have you do this a couple more times. Just want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. So in down dog, just a little bend of the knees, hips nice and high so you get a nice extension. And so when I'm saying, let your heart or chest sink down towards the floor so your head is going more between the arms, and you'll feel like the shoulders kind of lock in place a little bit, or feel some sensation in shoulders, and then you're going to come out of that sensation, sending upper back and head forward so your shoulders are loose again. Okay? Go ahead and return to downward facing dog. Hands out front, hips in the sky. Let's try that here. So a little sinking of the chest down towards the ground or towards toes, noticing the sensation in the shoulders. It opens the chest a bit, that's it. It kind of locks the shoulders, and then send upper back forward, coming out of that sensation. Okay, just a regular down dog feeling. Let's continue the flow. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reach long. Exhale, send right foot up to the top of the mat for the first lunge. Next to right hand there, left heel will turn to the floor behind you. Nice firm connection back there. Elongate it through spine. Hinge from hips, rising up, reaching into the air, both arms facing forward. Exhale, hinge, fold, make your way down, plant your hands. Slide the right foot back to meet the other plank pose. Finish the sequence as you'd like, maybe Chaturanga Dandasana. Yeah, you can bring the knees to the floor first if you want, then chest, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sometimes as we move into down dog, you automatically kind of sink the chest, so just notice if that happened for you. And then soften that sensation. Inhale, extend left leg out, reaching back straight and strong. Exhale, let's bring left foot now to the top of the mat. Right heel will turn to the ground. Some good weight in that back foot. Easy for you to lift the hands, hinge from hips, long spine, rising up, reaching into the air. Exhale, hinge and fold. Hands to the mat. And slide left foot back. There's plank. Finishing the sequence as you like. You can always do that shortcut to down dog if you want to skip that sequence. That's it. And just meet together in downward facing. A breath or two right there. We're going to take a seat, so you can kneel down to take a seat or hop forward, cross your legs, and take a seat. Make sure you're sitting in the center of your mat. You can roll down onto your back. And bring the knees into chest if you'd like. You can just hold there or just add some gentle movements if you'd like. Some circles or little figure eights, back and forth, forward and back, and even take a moment to circle the ankles. Circle the feet just to get into the ankles. Flex your feet, point your toes. Good. Go ahead and set your feet down onto the mat, just making our way into bridge pose. Might start with a nice full breath in, filling up the lungs. Exhale, core connection, and then just peel yourself away from the ground, lifting hips. If you need a little extra support, you can certainly use your hands to help lift yourself up. You can make this a bit more comfortable if you'd like, and even sit on a block if you happen to have a block or a prop like that. And as you're able, maybe a simple rocking of the body left and right a little bit to get your shoulders and arms a bit underneath you. And maybe even squeezing shoulder blades together to engage upper back muscles. A couple of options, some more options here. Your arms can be bent at 90 degrees, where your fingertips are reaching for the ceiling, the backs of your arms pressing into the floor to help lift you up and hold you up. Or you might even extend your arms down onto the floor, maybe even interlacing your fingers underneath you. So some options for the next 3 breaths. Then wiggle your feet forward or step forward a little bit. Perhaps extend your arms up into the air or even behind you to make space in your back body, and then roll your way down to the ground. Once you've landed, draw knees to chest. Some added movements there if you'd like. Eventually rocking forward and back with a good exhale, rocking your way up to seated so you can come to boat pose. So for boat, we'll want an extended spine. We're leaning back. We're kind of forming a V shape or a boat shape. Flexed feet here, or even pointed toes. You can keep the knees bent. You can even straighten the legs. Lots of options for boat. Holding on to the legs to help you extend spine. You can certainly free up the hands, just as long as you're breathing. Inhale, just feel the lengthening of the spine, breath filling up the lungs. Exhale, drawing belly in, that core connection. Okay. Let's breathe in. We're going to move. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front to hop back into plank, or even just to the side, and just swing the feet back, step back. Here's plank pose. Hold there for a moment. You may even still feel core connection, navel pulling up towards spine. You're going to set your right knee onto the floor. Okay, you can even bring in a blanket if you have one for a little softness under that knee. You're going to swing your right foot off to the right side a little bit. We're just making a kickstand, yeah. And then open up towards the left side of the room, left hand in the air, just a side plank pose with the variation using the knee on the ground for a little support. Now the left foot and left leg, you can flex that foot just to activate the leg. The foot can stay on the floor. You can certainly lift it into the air if you'd like. But as you're able, send this left hand overhead, reaching towards the front of the room, palm facing the floor. And just see if that allows you to really extend. There we are. Let's breathe in. Exhale, let's return to the earth, left hand and left knee to the ground. Let's bring the kickstand back in. Let's take 3 breaths, cat and cow. So lifting head and heart, little arching of the back here. You might look forward. There's our back bend. Exhale, round it out. Pulling belly button up towards spine, chin towards chest. Just finishing that series of 3 breaths, cat and cow. When you're complete, just make your way back to this tabletop position, holding in stillness for a moment. Step back into plank, just lifting the knees, stepping back so you can feel that core engagement and strong upper body. And now we'll set the left knee onto the floor. Make a kickstand by swinging the foot off to the side, and then opening up sideways here. Reaching up. Good. Again, flexing of the right foot will just engage the outside of the right leg to stabilize it, strengthen it. Foot can stay on the floor or lifting the foot, just an option. And send right arm overhead, reaching through the fingertips with palms facing the floor perhaps. Yeah. Get a good extension there, good balance, nice and strong. Breathe in. Exhale to slowly and carefully return to the earth. Right hand, right knee, bring your kickstand back in. Another 3 breaths, cat and cow. On your own right there. Good. After the 3rd breath, just hold in stillness for a moment. Then you may take your knees wide, and we're going to sit back into child's pose. So the hips towards heels. They don't have to touch the heels. We're going to do 2 versions here. First, kind of an active version where your arms, your hands are extending out front, reaching to the edge of your mat or even past the edge of your mat. Feel what's happening along the arms, your shoulders, chest, upper back, even down through the latissimus muscles, kind of the sides of the body there. 2 breaths. Nice extension, good reaching feeling. You can even rest your forehead on the mat or bring in a block or a blanket. And then shift to embryo, which is just bringing the arms and hands behind you as if you're just reaching for your feet or ankles. But let your arms and shoulders completely relax. Just let them just drop. No activation there at all. Just a little relaxation for the shoulders. That's it. A nice resting pose, knowing that you can come here anytime in your practice. Okay, 2 more breaths. Take your time as you move. You might just bring the hands back out in front. Rise back up to hands and knees. If the knees went wide, just bring them back in so they're underneath hips. If your hands are directly underneath the shoulders, step the hands forward a little bit. Even spread out your fingers to form a strong base. Tuck your toes. With a good exhale, lift the knees, then hips up into the air, downward facing dog. We'll continue our flow here. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Reach, hold for a moment so we can open up the hips. So bend your knee, bring your heel down towards backside a little bit. Yeah, and then lifting the knee. It doesn't have to lift high, but just feel that hip opener, okay? But also notice what might be happening in your upper body. You might naturally kind of rotate or twist a little bit to your left, where there's a little bit more sensation in left hand and left shoulder. Just be aware of that. Breathe in right where you are. Exhale, unwind, and step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the floor, grounding. Rising up, warrior 1, inhale. Then exhale, opening towards the left side of the room, warrior 2. Take a moment if you need to kind of step into place, adjust your feet. Nice deep lunge, good. Feel tall, outstretched arms. Good, side angle, reaching forward, angled upper body. Perfect, rotate your arms. Right hand down, left hand up. You can stay up as high as you'd like or go down as low as you'd like. Maybe you're touching the ground. Maybe you've brought in a block or 2. That can be your floor, that could be your ground. Okay, same thing with the hand and shoulder. Let's bring the left hand overhead, reaching towards the front of the room, palm facing downward. Reach. As you extend this direction, feel the left foot press more into the ground. Now send your hand back up towards 12 o'clock and then to the back of the room towards the actual clock on the wall. Okay, just reach for it. Okay, now you're going to bring your hand behind you to your low back. Okay, then roll the left shoulder back a couple times. Just roll a little circle of that shoulder, left shoulder. And hold it back, opening up through the chest. You're going to inhale, re-extend, left hand up into the air. Exhale, turns, bring the hands down to the floor, step back, plank pose. Then you're going to reopen towards the left side of the room to right side plank. So right hand will stay on the floor, opening up sideways. Now the first time we were here, you brought the right knee to the ground. You can certainly do that again. Otherwise, legs are straight. To keep them straight and strong, flex your feet. That's it. Yeah, it'll keep the legs strong. You can stack the feet or stagger the feet, one in front of the other is perfect. Feel the left hip lifting up into the air. Yes, just as your left hand is reaching into the air. Breathe in. Exhale, carefully return to the earth with the hands on the toes. Finish the sequence as you'd like. You can take a shortcut to down dog or chaturanga, into up dog or cobra, into downward facing, or any other nice little vinyasa flow there. Meeting together in downward facing dog. Okay, other side. So inhale, extend left leg into the air. Hold for a moment for that extension. Bend and twist open for a hip opener. There is a little rotation that's happening in the spine. And again, feel what happens to the upper body. Now, ideally, yeah, we would want to keep our shoulders square in this position, but no worries at this moment if you happen to be dipping a little bit towards right side, okay? Breathe where you are. As you exhale, unwind and step through. Left foot to the top of the mat, right heel turns to the ground. Feel balance there. Then you rise to a warrior one, reaching into the sky. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Maybe a wider stance, that's where I like to go. A little lunge, nice deeper lunge there. Feel tall, outstretched arms. Follow your left hand forward, angled upper body. Rotate your arms up and down. Nice opening of hips and heart. Stay up as high as you'd like, go as low as you'd like. Deep breathing. Let's follow right hand overhead, reaching through the fingertips towards the front of the room, palm facing down. I think that's just a more natural rotation for the shoulder. And you can really reach. Let's take the right hand back up to 12 o'clock and then to the wall behind you. Just reach for that back wall. And the right hand down behind you to low back. And then roll that shoulder, just a couple circles with that shoulder. And then hold it back to help open up through chest. A couple more breaths. And then our inhale to re-extend right hand up into the air. And turn, just bring the hands down to turn to the floor, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose, and again finish the series as you'd like. Meeting together in downward facing. Good. Shift your body out to plank pose. Yes, we forgot the left side plank, so let's do left side plank. So shift your weight back out to plank pose, and then left side plank. So left hand stays on the floor, opening up sideways. Left knee can come to the floor. Use padding if you need it. If the knee is on the floor, make sure it's directly underneath your hip. It'll be a nice, stable, straight line. Good. Strong feet, strong legs. That's it. Right hip lifting into the air. That's it. Here we go. Breathe in. Nice job. Exhale, carefully turn, light landing, hands and toes. And just a shortcut to down dog. You can take a shortcut to down dog. Rest anytime you need to. Take a breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, extend through spine monkey pose, I'll call it. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up, reach into the sky, follow me. Okay, we're going to exhale, slowly bring your arms down. We're moving into eagle. So this left arm is going to come down and behind or underneath the right arm, crossing at the elbows, making an X. Flip the palms forward. Lift the arms here as you can, wrap them up. A little bend in the knees. Shift your weight into your right foot. Planted strongly, core connected, and exhale, draw belly in, engaging your abdominal lock. Picking up left foot, let's cross this left leg entirely over the right. And when I cross my leg,
it's just like this. My foot is free right there. I just flex the foot or point the toes just to activate it. Some of you can actually wrap the foot around the calf. If you need a little extra stability for balance, let the toes come to the floor. Now here, if your elbows happen to be low, if you can, don't force it, maybe you can lift the elbows so the elbows are at shoulder level, and then send your elbows forward. Yes, it won't be much. And then take some deep breaths, breathing into your upper back. You've broadened the back. The back is slightly rounded here. So if you can, breathe into the back side. Okay, let's uncross the legs, plant the feet, then unwrap the arms, reach out. Take your time with this so they can really extend. Reach into the air, other side eagle. Exhale, arms come down. This right arm will come down and behind the left, making an X at the elbows. Flip the palms forward, lift and wrap. Soft knees, shifting weight into left foot, root, core connected. And we'll cross right leg entirely over the left. Toes can touch the floor for balance. Wrap the foot around the calf or have the foot free, but activate it. Nice. A good squeeze, if you can, of the legs, core, your center, even the arms. If you're able, without forcing, elbows lift to shoulder level. Send elbows forward, help broaden back. Take some breaths into the back body. See if you can make it expand. Let's uncross that leg, plant the feet. Let's unwrap the arms. We're going to continue the flow. Reach out and up. Exhale, chair pose. Bend the elbows to 90 degrees. Pull them back. Open the chest. Breathe in. Exhale, dive. Monkey pose, extending. Exhale, fold and bend. Hands to the floor. Hop or step back. Plank pose. Come down if you'd like. Chaturanga Dandasana. As you create your back bend, roll shoulders back, open up through chest, yes? Exhale, downward facing dog. We're just making this flow. Inhale, extend right leg up, bend and twist open. Unwind and step through, right foot to the top of the mat, left heel turns to the floor. Take your time with this, even though I'm giving fast instruction, it's okay. Rising up, warrior one, exhale, opening to warrior two. Good. Here we're going to reverse the warrior. Turn your right palm up, reach into the air, just a nice extension. Let me do a couple things here. So this is the first thing. The second part is just bend the elbow, bring the right hand down behind your head, and then point towards the ceiling with the elbow. If that makes sense. So the hand just behind the head, pointing with elbow, just to get you might feel a stretch quality down through the tricep, down through the latissimus here. Okay, then a big windmill, straighten the arms, windmill. Turn, bring the hands to the floor. Here, step back, plank pose. Finish the series as you'd like, maybe chaturanga. Roll shoulders back as you open through chest. For the back bend, might be cobra. Exhale, downward facing, love it. Here we go. Inhale, extend left leg up. Bend and twist. Good. Unwind, step through. Left foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Right heel turns to the floor, grounding, balancing. Then rise, first warrior. Exhale, opening to your second warrior. Settling in. Good. Let's reverse the warrior. Left palm turns up. Reach up. Any angle. You might be reaching somewhat forward, towards the front of the room, towards the ceiling, or straight up towards 12 o'clock, or even slightly behind you. Arm might be straight. You might even have a slight bend in the elbow. All perfect. All fine. Let's bend that left elbow more, bringing the left hand down behind the head. And as you can, feel like you're pointing with the elbow towards the ceiling or just upward. Noticing what's happening down through the whole left side of your body. Breathe into it. Okay, we're going to re-extend the arms, big windmill or like a cartwheel, so you can bring both hands down to the floor in front. Step back, plank pose, and again, just complete your series. Meeting in downward facing dog. Good. You're going to take another seat. You can just kneel down to take a seat or hop forward, cross legs, and take a seat. Find a comfortable seat. You can just cross your legs. You can come to cobbler's pose or half lotus.
Okay, a couple things here, just adding some more dynamics to our flow here. We're going to come back to that sensation of allowing chest to sink, okay, kind of locking the shoulders a little bit, sensation in shoulder, and then sending the upper back forward so the shoulders are a little bit more mobile. Let's see, I'm going to do which leg I'm going to do? I'll do my left leg up into the air here, bend and twist, and sometimes when we twist, I'm kind of dipping a little bit into my right side, to my right hand and shoulder. We're going to take advantage of that. Keep bending, in this case the right elbow, and let it come down to the floor. Here. You can adjust this hand, this left hand in this case, so you have a little bit more stability, okay, so you can hold yourself up. This right arm is kind of straight out front. I'm going to turn it at an angle because I'm going to bring this leg down and just spin open into a side plank on the elbow. Okay? Then we're going to turn and end in what I call dolphin plank. Hands can be together, making this diamond or triangle shape, or you might have that parallel line, either one. Okay? And yes, you are going to move into dolphin because that's where that sinking of the chest really comes into play. Okay, so you're in seated. Let's come to boat pose. Okay, we're just warming up. We're just warming up. Nice extended spine, breathing in, filling up lungs. Exhale, core connection. And we'll flow. Breathing in, feel like you're lifting up. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front to hop back. Or again, just hands to the side. Swing the legs back behind you. Plank pose. Maybe a shortcut to down dog or complete a series. And meet in downward facing. Once you're in down dog, that same gentle sinking of chest between the arms down towards the ground. The shoulders kind of lock. And then soften that by sending upper back and head forward, so the shoulders a little bit more loose. Okay, here we go. We're going to inhale, take right leg up into the sky, bend and twist. You might naturally kind of shift weight towards left shoulder and left hand. Bend the left elbow, gently set it onto the ground. Reposition right hand if you need to. Yes? Yeah, exactly. To a place where you feel like, oh, I feel a little bit more stable right here. Okay, that right knee is lifting. All righty. Now, if that left arm is straight out in front, you can turn it at an angle, bring the right leg down. You're going to left side plank, so you're facing the right side of the room, but you're on your left arm there, side plank. Yes? Good. Stacked legs or staggered feet, they're both correct. Just be sure you're flexing the feet to keep the legs straight and strong. See if you can straighten the legs. That'll help. Right hip lifting towards ceiling while right hand reaches. Breathe in. Exhale, bring right arm to the floor. You're going to be in dolphin plank. Hips slightly lifted, not too high, but certainly not too low. You don't want to sink or collapse into your low back. You're really going to feel this in your core body, yeah? Tiptoe forward, bent knees, hips high, moving into dolphin. And again, allowing the chest to sink between the arms a bit. If you can, move right into down dog. Just step up onto the hands. If you can, lift the elbows. Or if you need to, set the knees down first, then come back up onto the hands, and then to down dog. If you need to rest, please rest. Okay? Other side whenever you're ready. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Bend and twist. You'll feel a natural weight shift towards right hand and shoulder. Bend right arm. Yes, set the arm onto the floor. You can even angle that arm. Reposition the left hand. So you feel pretty stable there. Oh, so stable, right? Okay, bring that left leg down. Turning towards the left side of the room. Side plank on the elbow. That's it. Stacked or staggered feet. Straight legs. Yes, you can't even bring that right knee or leg to the floor if you need a little extra stability. You've got it. Yes, breathe in.
Exhale, carefully bring left arm to the floor there, dolphin plank. So you are in plank, you're on the elbows. Root down into the floor with your hands and forearms as best as you can. The center of your body, your hips, core engaged, yeah, slightly lifted so you don't feel like all that weight is in the elbows, okay? And then tiptoe forward, hips high, dolphin. Yeah, even more if you can there, Chris. There you go. And we'll take our rest here, knees to the floor, child's pose. You might start with a breath or two with arms extended, and then as you'd like, embryo, bring the arms down behind you in that resting sensation. Nice. Some deep breaths to help you relax, release. Good. Check in with your breathing. Can you take a deep breath? Nice ujjayi breathing. Because in this child's pose, there is kind of this kind of a combination of lengthening through the spine, but also this curvature in the spine. They're both correct. But because of that rounded sensation, you might be able to, like we did earlier, kind of breathe into your back body. Maybe 2 or 3 breaths like that. Moving slowly, just rise to hero. No rush to get there. Just rise to a hero pose. You can sit if you need to when it demonstrates something else. Okay, another part of our sequence. So eventually we'll be in a warrior 2 position. We're going to reverse the warrior like we did, dropping hand down behind the head, lifting, pointing through the elbow. One thing I typically do is the opposite hand here. I place it on my hip. Because when I bend backward like that, that doesn't feel good for me. It kind of I get trapped in my own back here. So I use my right hand to push pelvis in or that way, okay, and down. And it gives me a lot of support. Just a little tip there, okay. And then I'm going to re-extend in the big cartwheel, but this right hand is going to come up and around, planted onto the floor. Now my right foot, the toes are pointing that direction, but I'm going to point them to the left. So I'm going to spin on my toes the other direction. It's going to displace the hips, so I need to slide this left foot back. I'll be in side plank on the hand. Okay? We're going to come to plank pose, take a shortcut to a down dog, and we're going to go back into this sequence here. Okay? Okay, so that's our flow. So let's make our way out to downward facing dog. So hands out front, hips in the sky. Go ahead and inhale, extend right leg up behind you, and right foot to the top of the mat, right away to warrior 1. Left heel turns to the floor, rising here. Exhale, opening warrior 2. So we'll just go right through that sequence I just demonstrated. So reverse the warrior, right palm turns up, reach up, left hand on left hip if that helps the support of the pelvis. Bend the right arm, hand comes down behind head, pointing through elbow. Nice stretch and lengthening through the right side body. Now re-extend the arms, big windmill or cartwheel. That left hand's going to come up and around. Left hand plants on the floor by that foot. That back foot, the toes need to spin around towards the right side of the room. Slide the right foot back, stack it on top of the other, or stagger it so you're in left side plank. That's it, yes. Take a breath in. Exhale, careful return to plank pose, up onto the toes. Maybe even a partial push up to down dog. Just bend the elbows like you're going to go all the way down, but maybe just partially, and then push back to downward facing dog, a little partial push up. And then re-extend right leg into the sky, bend and twist. A little dip into that left shoulder, bend the left elbow, bring it to the ground. Reposition right hand for better stability. Good. And then our side plank again. So extend that right leg or bring it down. Angle the left arm. There you go. Opening to the right side of the room. Good strength there. Deep shoulder work. Breathe in. Exhale as softly bring right elbow to the floor, dolphin plank. So you're on your elbows, forearms in a plank-like style. Tiptoe into dolphin. And then downward facing dog. If you need to, kneel down first, then come up onto the hands. Downward facing. If you need to rest, rest. Other side whenever you're ready. Inhale, extend left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. A basic flow here. Right heel turns to the floor, rising when you're ready. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Good. Reverse the warrior. Left palm turns up. Reach up. Maybe right hand on hip for added support. Bending this left arm. That hand comes down behind the head, point with the elbow. Let's re-extend the arms, that big cartwheel. The right arm comes up and around. Right hand plants on the floor. Spin those back toes to the other side of the room so you can slide left foot back, stack the legs or stagger them for right side plank. You're on the hand. Breathe in. Exhale, return to plank pose. Here's that partial push-up. You just bend the elbows like you're doing a push-up and then push away. Downward facing dog. Inhale, extend left leg into the sky. Bend and twist. Bending right elbow, bringing it down to the floor. Angle that arm. Replace that left hand. Yes. And then side plank. Bring that left leg down, straighten the legs, opening up sideways. You're on the elbow. You've got it. Breathing in. And exhale, return to the floor with that arm, dolphin plank. Really feel the core engagement or reactivate core. Take your dolphin pose, tiptoe forward, hips high. Sinking the chest. And we'll take another breather here. Set the knees down. Child's pose. Good. Just 3 more breaths, but take your time. Eventually, still taking your time, just rise up to hero. If the knees are wide, so you can just bring them in a little closer. If sitting in hero is too deep, I do what's called half hero. Just tuck the toes underneath and just, you don't have to sit all the way back. A couple things here, maybe a couple of shoulder rolls. Backward, forward, check in with your neck, and then even with the wrist, since we're doing all those planks. So I like to do just flip the palm the other way, and a gentle pulse. I'll do like 3 pulses, not even hard at all, onto the ground, okay, or even into each other, like this, okay, or even just a gentle circle of the wrist and wiggle your fingers, just to help release through that, okay? Stay where you are, keep stretching. Okay, let me show you how we're going to incorporate that eagle pose. Okay, I'm just going to hop into eagle real quick here. So the same actions here, lifting elbows, sending them forward, taking a breath to broaden the back. When we exhale here, we're going to uncross the legs but step back into a warrior 2 stance, and then unwrap the arms, warrior 2. We'll reverse the warrior, same thing here, okay? And that whole sequence that we just did. Okay? That's how we'll incorporate that. So let's come back to downward facing dog, so hands out front. Hips high, downward facing, breathing in. And exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet, forward fold. Inhale, extending through spine. Exhale, fold. Let's hold here for a few seconds. Go heavy. Let the shoulders completely relax. Let your head relax. Give them a little shake. A nice deep breath. And then a weight shift into your heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Coming all the way up. Reaching high. Exhale, bring arms down by your side. Just so you can take another moment maybe to shake out the shoulders again. Elbows, wrists, wiggle the fingers. Okay? All right, so we're going to start with our eagle. And inhale to sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, slowly bring the arms down. Your left arm is going to come down and behind the right, making the X. Lift and wrap. Soft knees, look like taking a little chair pose. Shift weight into right foot, root, core connection. Left leg crosses over right. Lifting elbows to shoulder level as you're able. Send the elbows forward. Or even feel the shoulders kind of come forward, broadening the back. You're going to breathe in. When you exhale, pull belly in, but then uncross this left leg, step back. Warrior two stance. Open the arms, warrior two arms. Reverse your warrior, right hand up. Reach, drop that hand down behind head. Point through elbow. Okay, re-extend arms. Here's our windmill, where this left hand comes down to the floor. Spin the back toes around. Slide the right foot back. You'll be in plank pose, or side plank. Just an opening as you breathe in. Exhale, plank pose. Partial push-up, down dog. Right leg extends into the air. Bend and twist. Elbow, left elbow comes down to the ground. That's it. Yeah, see if you can hold it. Okay, then that right leg will come down. You can angle that left arm. Left side plank on arm, on the elbow there. Good. Straighten the legs as best as you can. Flex the feet. Yes, right hip lifting as the right hand's lifting. There it is. Breathe in. Exhale, right arm to the floor next to the other on toes. Okay. Dolphin plank. Hold. Feel the core engagement. It's okay if the hips are a little high. That's okay. Tiptoe forward, dolphin. Downward facing dog. Breathe in, fill yourself up. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. We're going right away to the other side. As you exhale, slowly bring arms down. The right arm now will come down and behind the left. Make your X. Palms forward, lift and wrap. Soft knees. Shift weight into left foot. Core connection. Cross right over left. Lifting elbows as you can. Shoulder level, send them forward or send the shoulders forward to broaden the back. Squeeze a little tighter through the legs, core and arms. Breathe in, puff up the back. Exhale, core connection. Uncross the leg, step right foot back. Open up the arms, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Left hand down behind the head. Lift, point. Don't forget your lunge here. Good extension of the arms. Windmill. Right hand will come down to the floor. Spin those toes around behind you. Right side plank. Good. Yes, the knee, right knee can be on the ground. Pelvis pushing forward, left hip lifting towards the ceiling. There it is. Yes. Excellent. Breathe in, still strong. Exhale, plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana this time. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Yeah, you can do that partial push-up if you want. Meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg extends into the air. Bend and twist. A little dip towards right shoulder. Bend right elbow, bring it to the ground. Reposition left hand as you need to. Can that left knee lift a little higher? Yes. Okay, lower that left leg, kind of step back. So you're in your side plank there on right arm. Angle that arm for a little bit more stability. Yes. You've got it. Inhale, here we are. Exhale, left arm to the floor. dolphin, step forward, hips high. Okay, this next part is a bonus. Okay, you can do this or not. If you do not want to do this, just bring the knees to the floor, rest. Otherwise, extend right leg up into the air. You can do a little hop here, bending the left knee for a little launch. Lift to balance on the forearms. Even just hop and bring that foot back down a couple times. Lower the right foot to the other side. Left leg extends. You're bending right knee for a little launch. Kick to balance. A couple times, we'll bring that left foot back down. Bring knees to the floor. Take them wide. Child's pose. Find your breath. Good. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths here. Take your time as you move and just make your way up to hands and knees. Once on hands and knees, we're going to thread the needle. So you can certainly use a blanket for this. If you want some padding. Follow me to kind of set this up. Start with the left hand. Just going to step your left hand forward just a little bit. And then step it out to the left side a little bit. And then turn that palm inward so the middle finger is pointing towards the 1 on a clock. Then go ahead and extend your right arm out to the right side of the room and then thread the needle. Right arm behind the left, bring the shoulder all the way down to the ground, perhaps if you can, and the left elbow will bend, kind of a nice 90-degree angle. You can always reposition that hand. So you've created this twist in the spine, reaching through with this right arm, which creates a little stretch and pull in the rear portion of the shoulder and kind of the side portion. And since you're lying on top of it, a little bit of a acupressure. Take one more breath. Use this left hand to help you get out of the pose. Just push into the floor to lift yourself, unthread, re-extend the right arm out to the side, then back down to the earth, reposition your hands. We'll do the other side. So right hand, step it forward slightly, off to the right side. Turn the palm in so the middle finger is pointing towards the 11. And then your inhale to extend left arm out to the side. Good. Exhale, thread. Let the right elbow bend, creating a little doorway or right angle. Left shoulder comes all the way down to the floor if you can. Reposition that right hand as you need to. Feel that twist, the extension, that stretch through the arm, affecting the shoulder, also the back, that pressure on the ground. There you go. Take one more breath. Good. And press to lift so you can re-extend the left arm out to the side there, left hand to the mat. Good. Sit back briefly in hero. Sit off to the side. Swing the legs around to the front. Sit in the center of your mat. Roll down onto your back. Knees in. Again, any intuitive movements here, including the feet. And now some options for you, okay, before you move into Shavasana. But if you feel complete, you can certainly move into Shavasana right here, or maybe a hip opener like Happy Baby pose or reclining cobbler's pose. Maybe a twist like spinal twist to both sides. You can even do another back bend, maybe a repeat of bridge pose or a full wheel pose. Perhaps even an inverted posture legs in the air, shoulders stand. Okay, I'm just throwing out some options. Take any of them, all of them, or none of them. Good. Again, just intuitive movements. Any extras here that the body might need. Really, it's about paying attention and listening to what your body is saying at this moment, what it needs at this moment, and responding appropriately. If it's ready to rest, take that moment now. Whenever you do make your way to Shavasana, just let the whole body soften. Relax completely here. If you have props, like blankets or pillows, use those to help support yourself. Eyes, of course, can remain opened, looking up and past the ceiling, or close your eyes as you take your journey inward. Stay right where you are. Just check in with your breath. Once again, return to the awareness of your breath. Notice your breath. Here, taking 5 slow, steady breaths. Perhaps deep cleansing breaths. As you're breathing, allowing movement to return to your body. It might just be subtle movements. After your 5th breath, feel free to stay right where you are, or slowly and carefully roll onto either side of your body into a nurturing pose. And wherever you are, just take 5 more breaths. Continuing to feel movement return to your body. And after your 5th breath, continue to move in slow motion. Guide your way up to seated. If you're still on your back, you might roll onto your side, and then press your way up. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthen spine. Then one more movement together. We'll inhale, extend your arms out and up. As you exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Hold here. Take one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice, we bow saying, Namaste.